is me, Pema, and today I'll be teaching you a new topic, and the chapter's name is A Tiger in the Zoo. So let's get started. So this poem, A Tiger in a Zoo, is written by a poet named as Norris. He was a Welsh poet and also a short story writer. So he worked in various institutions. His profession was a teacher, as well as he was a poet, a short story writer. And in this poem he talks about a tiger in a zoo and also a tiger in a jungle. Since this poem is about a tiger in a zoo, so we are talking about animals. So naturally animals, they stay in jungle. वो लोग जंगल में रहते हैं. They are free to roam and they have their own families. But nowadays what do we see? The animals, they are kept in zoo, and the people, they go and they look at them, take selfies. But what do we see? The back of the story is that the animals, they are kept in zoo. They are confined to four walls inside the zoos, and they are not free to roam around. They are not able to do what they are supposed to do normally in a jungle. So this is what the difference the poet has talked about: animal in a zoo and an animal in a jungle. So normally if we see a tiger in a jungle, what do we do? If we are like going for a trip with our friends, with our families, and we happen to see a tiger in a jungle, what do we do? The first thing that comes in our mind is to run away, so that we do not get caught by the tiger or get killed by the tiger. So that is the difference. And when we go to a zoo, so what happens? We usually go near towards the animals. We go near to the animals, either take a selfie or try to touch. So that is the main difference. तो इसी तरह poet बहुत beautifully he has described the difference between the animal in zoo and animal in a jungle. So let's start with our detailed explanation in the video. So look at the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. Let us first start with the first stanza. So the first line says, he stalks in his vivid stripes. So here's he. The tiger is being compared to he. Usually human beings are only referred to as he or she, and animals are referred to as it. But here in this poem there's some poetic device which is used, that is he. So here he is being compared to the tiger. So this is one of the poetic device that is used, that is personification. And he stalks in his vivid stripes. So here stalks means he is slowly walking without making any noise in his vivid stripes. Vivid means a very bright, and stripes means usually a tiger has stripes, orange stripes on his body. So that is what is being referred to here by the poet. So he stalks in his vivid stripes. तो tiger क्या कर रहा है? वो एकदम slowly चल रहा है with his vivid stripes. Means how he looks like a tiger with his stripes. He's slowly walking. So this is all a situation in a zoo. The next few steps of his cage. So टाइगर क्या कर रहा है? वो वॉक कर रहा है, लेकिन in a very short steps, because in a zoo what naturally happens is there is a very small space and you are not able to walk like you are in a jungle. तो वो बहुत छोटे छोटे steps लेके अपने cage के अंदर he slowly walking. So on pads of velvet quiet. So what do you mean by pads? So here pads means the tigers or the any kind of animal which has soft fur kind of thing on their leg, on their paws. You must have noticed even the cat or a dog or any kind of animal, they have soft thing which looks like a velvet, which is being compared to a velvet directly. So here also there's some kind of poetic device used. So here pads is being referred to as velvet, which is also a new poetic device, that is a metaphor. So here pad is also a metaphor. So next line, in his quiet rage. So here the word quiet and rage, these are two opposite words. So quiet means बहुत शांत and rage means when you have uncontrollable anger, गुस्से से you are not able to control that kind of anger. So here quiet and rage are used similar in a single line. So this is also a kind of a poetic device. So the kind of poetic device used here in this fourth line, the quiet rage, is oxymoron. So here in the first stanza of this poem, we come to know that the tiger is in a zoo. The scene is taking place at a zoo and he is slowly walking with his vivid stripes, which I already told you, the orange stripes. And he takes few steps of his cage. So he's slowly walking in his cage and on pads of velvet white. So as I told you, the paws of the tiger, which has very fur and very soft thing in his paws. So he's walking with his velvety pads and quiet in his quiet rage. So quiet means shant, very quiet without making any noise, and rage means too much anger. So he has so much in his mind, in his body, that he's not able to take it out. So he's silent also, as well as very much anger also. So if he was in a field or in a jungle, then he would have taken out, he would have gone for hunting, find his food. But here in his cage, he is not able to do any of those things. So that is why he is in his quiet rage. So we come to the next stanza, that is the second stanza, where we are talking about he should be lurking in shadow. Means instead of being in a zoo, the tiger should be in a jungle and he should be lurking, means hiding. वो तो छुपना चाहिए जंगल के अंदर. So he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass. So what happens in jungle? You see there are long grasses in a forest. So the tiger should be hiding somewhere here inside the jungle, sliding through the long grasses. So near the water hole where the plump deer pass. So this means that the poet is trying to say that he shouldn't be in a zoo, in a cage, but instead of that he should be free to roam around in a jungle, and he should be slowly walking in the shadows, sliding through the long grasses near the water hole. So water hole means the rivers, the small streams or ponds which we find it in jungle. So jungle mein jo hote hai pond and all those small streams. So he should be quietly going out there. The tiger should be quietly going out there and he should wait for the deer to pass. Plump here means a fat or a healthy kind of deer. He should be waiting for his food or to ready to attack any kind of animal. So here in the second stanza, the poet is saying or comparing that instead of being in a zoo, he should be in a jungle, free to roam around as per his wishes, because no one likes to be confined in a cage or in a smaller space where he cannot do anything, nor meet his friends, nor meet his family, or nor do anything which is normal. I hope these two stanzas are easy, or you must have understood both the difference between the two stanzas, the one which talks about the tiger in the zoo and one which talks about the tiger in the forest or as jungle. So now we come to the third stanza, that is he should be snarling around houses. So here, what do you mean by snarling? Snarling means to growl. So growl is a kind of noise where the animals make, especially the tigers and lions, they growl. So they make a certain kind of noise. So that is known as snarling or growling. So instead of a tiger being in a zoo, वो zoo के बदले में forest में होना चाहिए, और वो एक प्रकार का sound, growling sound, but in and around the forest in a free area. So he should be snarling around the houses, bearing his white fangs, his claws at the jungle's edge. So at the jungle's edge means, as I said, not near the houses, but at the jungle's edge means at the end of the forest, where the forest and the main village, the human settlement starts, जहाँ पे लोग रहते हैं, वो जगह और जंगल के एंड वहाँ पे उसे ग्रॉल करना चाहिए, उसे he should be walking around and taking a round. So bearing his white fangs means the long teeth which the tiger have. So उसका दांत दिखाते हुए, so how the tigers and lions, they are angry, how they show their teeth when they are hungry, when they want to eat or kill some animals. So he should be at least showing his teeth, white fangs which are very long, and his claws means the hand which has very sharp nails in his claws. So terrorizing the village. So here terrorizing means to scare away the people. So usually we human beings, we are scared of tigers. So the tiger's main job should be terrorizing his village. Terrorizing the village means he should be in and around the jungle, not letting anyone come to his place, because naturally we say that tiger is the king of jungle, so he should be allowed to roam around freely and do whatever he wishes to. Now we come to the next stanza, where the poet is describing, but he is locked in concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So here, locked in concrete cell. So here concrete means cemented. तो वो टाइगर एक सीमेंटेड जगह के अंदर बैठा हुआ है. Cell means a kind of a place, like in a zoo, a cage kind of thing. So he's locked out there inside a cell, in a concrete cell, where his strength is behind the bars, means उसका जितना भी शक्ति है वो he cannot show it from the cage, because all the walls, they are kind of cemented, so he cannot show his strength. I've shown his strength because he is free to roam, there is no restriction, no boundary. But here a tiger is in the zoo, so there is a concrete cell which binds him inside the bar. So here talking about the next line, stalking length of his cage means, again here stalking means to walk slowly, धीरे धीरे चलने को stalking कहते हैं. तो stalking length of his cage, ignoring the visitors. So here the poet is trying to say that he is locked inside the cell, and what he can do is, वो बस वो क्या कर सकता है, वो जू के अंदर अपने केज के जितना भी बाउंड्री होता है उसी के अंदर वो घूम सकते हैं, इसके अलावा उसके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. So ignoring the visitors, so जितने भी visitors, like human beings like us, when we come, when we see the animals, so what do the tiger do, वो क्या करते हैं, वो बस visitors को ignore करते हैं और बस अपने आप वो अपनी केज के अंदर बस slowly धीरे से चलते रहते हैं. I hope you understood this stanza. So now we come to the last stanza of this poem. That is, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So here, the poet means to say that जब शाम की बात है, when it's night, the evening time, he hears the patrolling cars. So here, what do you mean by patrolling cars? The cars or the vehicles which come late at night when the zoo is closed, when all the human beings, they have gone out and now only the animals are there. So what do the patrolling cars do? The people, they come in the patrolling cars, they just check whether all the animals are safe inside, whether all the people, the visitors, they are out of the zoo, they have come out of the place. So for that, the people do patrolling. So this is done at night. So the tiger here, he hears the last voice at night. So सोने से पहले, so he hears these patrolling cars moving around. So he might have heard the voice of the vehicles or hear the sound of the vehicles moving around and stares with brilliant eyes. So क्या होता है, the tigers or the cats, they have a kind of eyes which twinkles at the night with the ray of light. If some kind of light focuses on their eyes, what happens? It shines. So it stares with brilliant eyes. So इसका मतलब ये है कि जब वो गाड़ी, वो पेट्रोलिंग कार्स वो उसके जगह से पास होता है तो वो उनका आवाज़ सुनते हैं और ही स्टेयर्स विद ब्रिलियंट, और वो उस रोशनी को जो उनके आँखों पे पड़ते हैं उससे वो देखते रहते हैं। और एट दी ब्रिलियंट स्टार्स, और रात को जब तारे स्टार्स चमकते हैं तो वो उन्हीं ब्रिलियंट आइज, द ट्विंकलिंग आइज से उन तारों को वो रात को देखते रहते हैं. So in this way the poem is complete, and I hope you all understood the poem. So what did we learn in this poem is that there are many poetic devices. The first thing is the poet compares a tiger in a zoo versus a tiger in a jungle or a forest. And there are many poetic devices in this poem which you'll come across, which I've already explained before. So let's just revise it once. So first one is the personification, where the tiger was referred to as he. So the first poetic device is personification. And the second one is, which I had told you, was oxymoron, where the quiet rage word was used, which are two different words having two different meanings but used together. So that is oxymoron. And the third one was metaphor, where you compare two objects, that is without using like or as. So here which word was used from the poem? That was the velvet pads, which was being referred to the tiger's paws, the soft furry paws. So with this we come to the end of this poem, and that's it, and I'll meet you all again with another video. Till then, keep watching and keep loving. Bye.